So welcome you friends. In previous video, that is for UPS, we discussed one of the major part of UPS is the battery, right? So now in this video we will going to discuss about the details of that battery in terms of its ratings like AH, backup time, then selection criteria of battery, and the battery charger, etc. Okay. So what is battery? So battery is nothing but uh, it is a device consisting of one or more electrochemical cells with external connections for powering electrical or we can say electronic devices such as flashlights, mobile phones, vehicle starters, etc. Now see, purposely I taken here the that examples, various examples like we can say the flashlights, etc. This one flashlight, then mobile phones, vehicle starters. So here you will observe for these taken examples of devices which are operated by using batteries. The flashlight, it required somewhat moderate rating battery with moderate rating. Then mobile phones, it required somewhat low rating batteries, and vehicle starters, it requires somewhat high rated batteries. So by these examples here we can say the flashlight, it requires somewhat moderate current for its operation, then mobile phones somewhat low current, and vehicle starters, during the starting of any vehicle, the current consumption by the starter to rotate the shaft of that engine, that current requirement is very high, means the starters used in vehicles are very we can say strong starters. That means the torque requirement of that starter, it is very high, and whenever the torque requirement is high, during the lecture of motors we studied the current requirement is also high. So in such cases, that is for vehicle starters, we require the batteries with somewhat high rated batteries. Okay. So every battery, it comes with certain voltage and capacity ratings. What is that capacity rating and everything we will discuss in detail later on. So there are cells inside the battery which form the voltage level, and that battery rated voltage is the nominal voltage at which the battery is supposed to operate. Now the types of batteries, basically that batteries are categorized as primary battery and secondary battery. Now what is that primary batteries? Primary batteries are the those batteries that cannot be recharged once it gets depleted or discharged totally. And the another type, that is secondary batteries, which is nothing but the rechargeable battery, right? So you might have seen the various ratings are that batteries are categorized as it is written on the battery. For example, like this AA or triple A or C or D, etc. So the chemical composition of such type of batteries, it is of zinc manganese dioxide or nickel metal hydride, and the available nominal voltage, it is of 1.5 volt to 1.2 volts. So here again these categorized batteries are maybe available in primary as well as in secondary type. Primary means once we will use it and gets discharged, then it is of no use later on, means we can't recharge it. And the secondary batteries, here that nominal voltage, it is written as 1.2, mostly it is available in 1.3 volt also, so that can be recharged once gets depleted, right? Then the another type of battery, its size mostly it is written as a 9 volt. So such type of batteries mostly are used for in our digital multimeters, right? So these batteries are manufactured, or chemical composition of these batteries are zinc manganese dioxide, lithium manganese dioxide, or nickel metal hydride, and available in 9 volt or we can say 8.4 volts. Again, can be categorized as primary as well as secondary. means 8.4 volt battery, it is a rechargeable battery available in this range, right? Then the third battery, that is mostly known as a coin cell type. It is the lithium manganese dioxide battery and available in 3 volt. Now, such type of battery coin cells are not rechargeable, so we can categorize it in primary type, right? Then the next one, that is flat pack. Uh, Most of the mobile handsets are operated by this type of battery, that is flat pack, and it is manufactured, or the chemical composition of this battery is lithium ion or lithium polymer, and mostly available in 3.7 volt rating. And as we know, it is a rechargeable, that's why it is categorized into secondary type of battery. And the last one, that is mostly used in cars or UPS, that is lead acid battery mostly, and available in 12 volt and are rechargeable, that's why it is in secondary type. Now, what is the capacity of that battery? Or mostly it is written in AH, right? The batteries, it is rated in AH. So what is that AH, or what is battery AH? The capacity refers to the amount of charge that battery can deliver at the rated voltage, which is directly proportional to the amount of electrode material in that battery. The unit for measuring battery capacity, it is in ampere hour, or in short it is also known as amp hour, and denoted by AH, right? So here I taken one example. If a brand new battery is there and it is written as 100 AH capacity, so what is the meaning of that? So theoretically, the meaning of that 100 AH is nothing but what? That battery can deliver 1 ampere of current for 100 hours at a room temperature. That is the meaning of AH. Okay. Now, the battery C rate. This is also one of the important parameter of the battery. That C rate, it stands for the charging or discharging current. Now that C rate, it is dependent on charging or discharging current of that battery. So it is defined as the discharge rate. It is sometimes referred to as CI number, and that number, it is the number of hours it takes the battery to be fully discharged. So mostly it is calculated as that CI number equals to C non divided by IDIS, where that C non is nothing but the nominal battery capacity, and IDIS, it is the discharge current of that battery. Again, here one example for the proper understanding purpose. C rate of 1C for 100 Ah capacity battery would corresponds to a discharge current of, we can say, 100 ampere over 1 hour. That is the meaning of that 1C. Similarly, if the same battery, it is rated as 2C. So if the C rate of 2C for the same battery, it would correspond to a discharge current of 200 amperes over half an hour. Now that time period will get reduced to half if the current rating, discharge current rating, gets double, right? Now that's why 2C means what? That battery would corresponds to a discharge current of 200 ampere over half an hour, or it can be represented as C by 0.5. Is it? Twice C is nothing but C by 0.5, one and the same. Similarly, if the same battery C rate of 0.0 C implies a discharge current of 5 ampere over 20 hours, or it can be represented as C by 20. So this C rate, it is very important while designing or developing that UPS system, up to how much we require the backup time, and accordingly which battery is to be selected or is to be purchased, or depending on the load conditions, what is the power requirement of that load, accordingly we have to select or we have to purchase a number of batteries with different C rates. Okay, so finally the same battery can be discharged at 1 ampere over 100 hours, and that corresponds to 0.01 C, or it is rated as C by 100, right? And thus in general that C rate, it depends on charging or discharging current of that battery. Now the most important calculation, that is battery backup calculation, it is mostly required in case of developing that UPS systems. So what is that battery backup? It is the supply of electricity when the primary source of that power for the electrical appliances is unavailable or gets failured. That is mostly we discuss in UPS, right? So in UPS, what we discuss over there, whenever that power supply is not in good condition, AC mains is not in good condition, or it is failure, that critical loads, it gets operated by the secondary source, and that is battery through inverter, is it? So it's okay, but up to how much time that load will get operated by the secondary source, that is battery. So it is dependent on the battery backup of that battery, right? So that battery backup, mostly it is calculated in hours. It depends on mainly three factors. Which are those factors? That is like power consumption by the total load connected to that UPS, and it is in watts. So how much load we are connecting across that UPS, that will going on to decide up to how much time that battery will going on to give the backup, is it? So that is the power consumption by total load. Then second one, battery voltage, up to how much level that battery gets recharged. That battery voltage, it is in again volts, so it also will going on to decide the backup time. And third one, that is battery capacity, it is in Ah. So while purchasing or selecting that battery, we have to consider that last two parameters of battery mostly, that is battery voltage, and the last one is that battery capacity in ampere per hour. So that battery backup, it is easily calculated as uh, a simple formula is given, that is battery capacity into the voltage of that battery divided by power consumption by the total load connected across that UPS. Again here, for understanding purpose, a simple calculation is taken. If the power consumption by the load is 1 kilowatt, a load or multiple load is connected across that UPS, and totally if combinedly that load is consuming the power of 1 kilowatt. Okay, so UPS battery have the ratings of suppose 12 volt. The used battery is of 12 volt, and with its rating, Ah rating as 180 Ah, right? Then the battery backup will be, so that battery will be going to provide the backup up to 2.16 hours. That is the meaning, right? Simply by using this formula, we can calculate it, right? Now battery capacity, it is given as 180 Ah if the selected or used battery is of 180 Ah, and having its voltage rating as 12 volt divided by power consumption by the total load, and if it is of 1000 watt, that is 1 kilowatt, right? Now so whenever we will going on to reduce the number of load connected to that UPS, here we can say the battery backup will get increased. That battery will going on to produce its backup for a long time duration whenever we will going on to decrease this load connected across that UPS. That is the meaning, correct? Now the next important part of that UPS, that is battery charger, we discuss over there. There is a charge control unit, and mostly it is designed and developed by using that control devices, that is rectifiers, control rectifiers based on our power devices, thyristor base. So it is that battery charger. The battery charger work by feeding an electric current through battery for a period of time, in the hope that the cells inside will hold on to some of the energy passing through them. Means it will be going on to charge up, that cells inside the battery will get charged, or it will be going on to store the charge. See, so a good charger can improve the battery capacity, life, and also monitors the charging process. So this is one of the important parameter related to that charge control unit or charger. A good charger can improve the battery capacity, right? Now as well as it will going on to improve the life of that battery also. And that means there should not be overcharging, or the charging current requirement for that battery should get properly produced by the that charge control unit or charger, right? So to calculate the total charge time for battery, a good rule of thumb is to take the ampere hour rating of the battery and divide by the charger rating in amperes, and then just add about 10% for the extra time to get totally top of the battery, right? So again, few people wants to a quick recharge, should look for a charger with more amperes, right? But it may be harmful to the cells of that battery, correct? Now for proper understanding purpose, how to select the battery, or what is that AH rating, or how it is to be important while designing that UPS. I taken here one simple example. So see, what is the problem statement I taken? Design a standby inverter or UPS based power supply for 230 volts, 2.5 kilowatt, 50 hertz, zero point 0.8 power factor load for half hour backup period, and the input to this inverter is of 120 volt. So first of all, try to understand properly uh, what are the given things. We have to design and develop that standby inverter or UPS. Okay, so to power or the available output of that inverter, it should be of 230 volt RMS, and the load to be connected across that inverter or UPS is of 2.5 kilowatt load, total load, and the load requirement again in terms of frequency it is of 50 hertz with zero point 0.8 power factor. Now remember, in previous lectures we discussed about this term, that is power factor. It is also very important while designing this UPS system, or what is the importance of power factor, that also we will going on to discuss over here, right? Now the backup requirement, it is of half an hour, means our UPS system with the selected battery should going on to provide the total power, load power requirement of 2.5 kilowatt up to half an hour, and the input DC voltage, it is to be selected as a 120 volt DC. So this is the given things or problem statement. Now see, first of all, the required kVA rating of the inverter, that we have to find out, is it? Here you will understood properly what is the use of that power factor, correct? The required kVA rating of the inverter is nothing but the total power requirement by the load, that means the actual power requirement of the load divided by the power factor of that load, is it? So it is given in the problem statement, the total load power requirement is 2.5 kilowatt, is it? And the power factor is 0.8. So what should be the rating of inverter? That inverter, it should get rated somewhat more than that of the actual power requirement of the load, that is nothing but 2.5 kilowatt. Why it is so? Because the power factor produced by the load, it is of 0.8. It is not unity. If it is unity, that means if the load is purely resistive load as per our previous discussion, then the power factor automatically it will be 1. That means the phase difference between voltage and current waveform for purely resistive load, it is 0. That's why that cos phi, it comes as 1. That is nothing but power factor. So here whatever load we consider, it is non-resistive load, it may be somewhat inductive, and that's why the power factor is not exactly 1, it gets decreased to 0.8. So whenever power factor gets decreased, automatically the power rating requirement of that generator, here we can say the inverter or UPS, it will get increased beyond the actual power requirement of the load, and that's why it comes as 3.125 kVA, is it? So 2.5 kilowatt, it is the actual power requirement of load, and because of that somewhat reduced power factor of 0.8, the rating requirement of inverter, it comes as 3.125 kVA. Okay, now again, whatever inverter or that UPS we will go on to design will not have 100% efficiency. That means there will be somewhat losses across that inverter, switching losses and all that. So many things are there. So the efficiency of that thyristor based inverter, if here it is taken as 85%, 15% will be the losses. Okay, so the power supplied by the battery is the input to the inverter, and it can be determined now as power of that battery equals to the power generated by the inverter divided by its efficiency. Don't take here that power generated by the inverter as a power requirement of load, because there will be losses. There will be losses, or there will be somewhat reactive power consumption due to the lower power factor, which is of 0.8, and that's why that power requirement is taken as a rating of that inverter, and which is just calculated as 3.125 kVA, and that's why power requirement by the battery, or power taken from the battery, it comes as 3.7 kilowatt. Is it? Now let, or how that 3.7 kilowatt power is to be drawn from the selected that DC bus of 120 volts right now. Now let 10 storage batteries of 12 volt each are connected in series. Now whenever the batteries are connected in series, there is addition of their voltages right now. So there are 10 batteries, each rated in terms of voltage as a 12 volt, so that we can generate that 120 volt DC bus, is it, whenever are connected in series. Now the output current of battery, that series combination, how much current that battery should produce, output current right now, so that it can fulfill the requirement of or kilowatt requirement of inverter, as well as the requirement of total load, that is in kilowatt right now. So the output current of that batteries, that should be equals to 3.7 kilowatt, that is the power requirement of that battery, divided by the total volts, that is 120 volt, as the 10 batteries are connected in series. So that comes as 30.8 ampere. That means each battery, as the 10 batteries are connected in series, that current will not going on to add, it will remain as the individual current of battery, is it? So the battery current requirement is 30.8 ampere. That means each battery should be capable to produce or to give 30.8 amperes of current. Now previously we discussed about that C rate, discharge or charging rate of battery. So according to that C by 10, each battery should have 30.8 ampere into 10H, that is equals to 308 Ah capacity, is it, as per the current requirement. And that C by 10 rate, it is calculated as that Ah rating of each battery, it should be of 308 Ah capacity, right? Now mostly available batteries in the market have that Ah capacity as 180 Ah, 150 Ah, 100 Ah, 80 Ah, etc. Is it? This 308, as per our calculation, might not be available exactly right now. So therefore the lead acid batteries, automotive batteries, are parallel plate type batteries, here we can use. Now to acquire this 308 Ah capacity, instead of a single, two batteries of, we can say, 12 volt and 150 Ah capacity can be used in parallel. Now here, what is the requirement? Requirement is the current boosting requirement right now. So two batteries of 12 volt and 150 Ah, when will be connected in parallel, then we'll be going to produce the output as 12 volt as are in parallel, and that Ah rating will get double. That means it will be of 300 Ah. So here we can use it in parallel right now. So see, as per the requirement, the total voltage requirement of the input of our UPS system or inverter, it is of 120 volts, and the Ah requirement is 308 Ah. Correct? So whenever we will going to connect 10 batteries in series, so the voltage available will be of 120 volt, but only by that 10 batteries in series will not going on to improve the Ah rating. That Ah rating will remain, we can say, only 30.8 Ah as a single current rating of, as a rating of single current rating of single battery, is it? So here the requirement is what, there should be a two string, each string should contain 10 batteries, and second string again it should contain 10 batteries, should be parallelly connected with each other, so that we can say the net output voltage of that two string, that means total 20 batteries, 10 in series, right, and one string parallel to another, so that the total battery requirement will be of 20 batteries, so that it will going on to provide the total rating of, we can say, 120 volt and 300 ah, is it? So in this way, that battery requirement according to the load condition or power requirement of load, it is to be calculated. So here simply we can determine the cost also. If a single battery is of rupees, we can say 4000 of 150 ah, 12 volt and 150 ah, so the battery total battery cost, it will goes to up to 80,000. Clear? So 4000 into total number of batteries are 20, so it comes as 80,000. So in this way, as per the requirement, we can easily design and develop our uninterruptible power supply system, is it?